I want to welcome everybody here to the Golden Streams weekly podcast where we talk sports and other things of that nature. With us today, we have the pride of Buffalo, New York, Sir Tokalak.
How's it going, everybody? How's it going?
Also with us, we have New Jersey's native son, Unchained Python.
What's up? What's up? How's everybody doing?
And of course, me here talking right now, you have the Lone Star of the Lone Star State, Juice, aka the Ghetto Gourmet.
The Ghetto Gourmet in the building.
Chop
So,
suey.
since it's Super Bowl week, we want to open up and get right into football here. And Toke, I want to give you the floor first, and let's go talk. Give us something about the Super Bowl. What do you
Storyline that
think
I'm
about the
interested in.
matchup, the
Storylines,
matchup,
matchups.
and the storyline?
I mean, personally, it's nice to see. It's refreshing to see a new team in there like the Falcons. I'm tired of the same old, same old. You got your boy Tom Brady over there, cheap boy. I mean, one of the greatest ever of all time, Tom Brady. He's always gonna be around, him and Belichick. But I like to see the Falcons in there. As much as I want to see the Falcons win, my heart just tells me otherwise, though. It just tells me otherwise. I mean, just yesterday, we get reports that Shanahan's offensive playbook, the whole scheme for the Super Bowl, is missing. I mean, I can't tell you how many posts I've seen that insinuated Bill had the playbook, but you know how that goes, anyways. They known
Okay.
for stuff like that. But
Mm.
I'm hoping, my, I want the Falcons to pull through. Top rated offense versus the top scoring defense in the league. Typically, the top scoring defense wins these games. Again, Patriots. All signs for me point to the Patriots, but I'm hoping Ryan can prove me wrong. I'm hoping.
All right. Now we want to go to a Steelers fan who's very familiar with the New England Patriots, just as Toke is familiar being a Buffalo Bills fan with the New England Patriots.
Okay.
Unchained Python, let us know about the Super Bowl.
The Super Bowl. I think the Patriots are gonna win. I think Tom's gonna get his fifth ring. He's gonna be the Thanos of the NFL. Ain't no other team gonna beat him. He's just too good. You know. Like Sir Tokalot just said too. We want the Falcons to win it because it'd be a new, fresh team to actually get it. They got the good offense. You got, Julio Jones. Who's gonna stop that guy? I don't think New England could stop that guy. To be honest, he's too big. He's too good, and he just started. He was gonna be trucking all over those guys. So it's gonna be an interesting game, in my point of view. But I think Tom Brady's just Tom Brady, one of the greatest. Once he get that fifth ring, he's gonna be known better than be Joe Montana. That's my opinion. Hands down. It's up to Matt Ryan and his crew with Freeman and Julio Jones what they gonna do, and hopefully the Atlanta defense step up their game. They've been doing good lately though in the playoffs and in everything else, so it might be an interesting game or it might be just another bust. So we'll just see what's gonna happen between those two teams. I think for the running game, Belichick has a lot of this. He stopped Le'Veon Bell. Le'Veon Bell was as a top running back for the Steelers. My team, and he stopped them pretty good. He didn't do, you know,
Injured, a matter of fact.
injured him too. I think they snuffed his balls or something too. That he did get a groin injury, but whatever. Belichick knows how to stop weaknesses, so he might have a two-man coverage on Julio Jones to stop them. But Matt Ryan has a lot of firepower too with other receivers. I don't know their names, but he's
Sanu,
still,
Tyler Gabriel, they look good.
yeah, he's got a lot of, we just see how open they get. But for the running game, it's gonna be tough for them because New England, been stopping a lot of great running backs, in their game. So we'll see what happens. You know.
All
Tom
right.
Brady, fifth ring. That's it. You know, that's all you can say.
Yeah. All right. I'm very familiar with New England. I mean, I'm a fan of a team in the division with them that sees them twice a year in the Miami Dolphins. I know I was actually surprised how well we did this year or whatever coming up. But when you have a team like New England, who's since Tom Brady has been quarterback, has won the division every year but twice, it's just something you have to respect. Love him or hate him, you have to respect the guy.
That's true.
On the on the Atlanta side, Atlanta has been known in the past to look good during the regular season and kind of blow it
Hmm.
when the money's on the line. But
But I
this year
think that's defense.
they've shown that they can that they have more that Matt Ryan's finally playing like what people thought Matt Ryan could be. The
Like an
most
actual
surprising
elite
thing I
quarterback.
think Yes, the most surprising thing to me that Matt Ryan has done during this playoff run, he hasn't turned the ball over. I'm
Hmm.
not exactly sure
Hmm.
what his touchdown to interception ratio is, but I don't even think he's thrown an
I
interception
don't
this
remember
playoffs.
seeing any. I don't remember seeing any.
Nah, nah.
So if
You
if
know.
if this guy is able to do that against a Belichick-led defense, because we all know if you believe he's a cheater or you believe he's innocent or whatever the case is, Bill Belichick gets results. And in the sport of football, it's a result-based
That's all that matters.
business.
That's all that matters.
Yep.
So that guy gets results, and you've given him 2 weeks to prepare for Matt Ryan, who's playing for the biggest game of his career, going along with Julio Jones and Sanu. But although I do like Atlanta's high-powered offense, history has just always been on favor for the team with the better defense to win when it counts. Now, there's a part of me that would love to see, Atlanta pull it off and, in the game turn into a shootout. But I don't think Atlanta necessarily wants to go to a shootout because it's two sides to the ball, and their
Hmm.
defense is not as good as New England's is.
Right.
So
I'll agree.
It's just that it's just
it's
Atlanta's defense got to just step it up. You know, just keep the pressure on him and keep it going. That's the
right.
Atlanta's best
It's
best hope right there to beat them.
you playing a dangerous game when trying to get into a shootout with Tom Brady. Although Tom's getting older, and it's gonna be hard to make a case against him not going down as the greatest quarterback to play the game. But
There's
until
a but. There's a
he
but.
not yeah until he just doesn't get it done, you just have to bet on Tom Brady.
I hear you. So
What's
if
up?
we have to pick Super Bowl picks right now, who are you taking? Winner.
Brady,
Super Bowl winner.
taking Brady.
My heart would rather see Atlanta, but my mind says Bill Belichick finds a way somehow to do just enough, for him and Brady to get another Super Bowl ring.
How about you, Python? You going with Brady? You said.
Yeah, I'm going with Brady. I think he deserved that fifth ring. I mean, come on, he's been in the Super Bowl how many times? Eight, seven, eight
Seven.
times?
7 times. I'm
Seven?
not sure.
7 times? That's more than any best quarterback in their prime got there that far, and he's did it with Belichick. So you got 2 and 2, the best coach and the best quarterback in the game. So he's
I
gonna get
agree.
that fifth ring, one way or the other. He's gonna get that ring.
I agree. I
I mean,
prefer to see my man Matty Ice and Julio Jones get a ring. I'd rather
yeah,
see
yeah.
that. But until proven otherwise, until somebody other than Eli Manning beats Tom Brady, Thomas Edward Brady, I'm gonna go with him.
Yeah,
All right.
hopefully Matty Ice could
Well,
thaw out the Brady, Mr. Terrific.
all right. Well, I'm gonna ask you this: can you make a case legitimately to see Atlanta winning the Super Bowl? Since all three of us say New England, can you make a case, and what would be the reasoning for Atlanta
The
to pull this off?
the offense, they got the offense. It's just the defense, just to hold down Brady, rushing in on him and just keep the pressure on him and man-to-man coverage. Don't leave these guys open. That's the best idea I could come up with, just to slow down the Patriots. When Brady's
Ye-
under pressure, he gets very frustrated, and sometimes he be throwing interception when he gets too frustrated. So just keep the and just the defense, put up that defense, keep up the good work. It's gonna be a good game. I think it's gonna be a close game. I don't think it's gonna be a bus. I think it's gonna be maybe the score may end up be 37-35, something like that.
I'm gonna
It's
have
gonna
to
be
go
So,
ahead and say the Atlanta Falcons defensive ends, Freeney and who's that, Vic Beasley. They,
right.
like Python said, they have to get pressure, preferably with four linemen, no extra rushers if you can get away with it. But you have to put pressure on. I watched that Steelers game against New England. They weren't doing anything. They were dropping back
yeah.
in the coverage the whole game. The front four couldn't get any pressure on them. It was sad to watch. But
It was horrible.
I do believe Freeney and Beasley can put some pressure on. Um, whether that's gonna happen, I don't know. And obviously the offense can light up anybody. They score 45. I say they win the game regardless. They score 45 points. They're winners, I think. But I don't know if they can.
All right. Well, since both of y'all covered the defense side as the key to beating New England, I think the biggest weapon that Atlanta has to beating New England is that they're going to have to be able to run the football.
Mm. Yeah, that's
As
good too.
with
Yeah.
any great quarterback that you have, you can't be great if you're not on the field. And being able to run the ball and control the clock, because you have a high-powered offense, at least passing the ball that can hit a home run at any second. But I think the
Yeah.
key for Atlanta in this game, besides the obvious defense, is to run the ball, control the clock, and strike when necessary.
Yeah, yeah. I
So,
mean, they got to come up with like good running plays too, because a lot of the time New
Freeman
England's
and Coleman,
defense,
they can get it done.
you know, they
Freeman and
probably could
Coleman.
get it done, because in the Steelers game when Le'Veon Bell wasn't doing much, you put D'Angelo Williams, and he rushed in there on them. But like I said though, it's because Bill Belichick is a smart coach, so he already know how Le'Veon Bell played. He like to wait and take a second and look at the field, and New England was ready for that. They don't have to rush in. They could just easily wait for to Bell to get in. So, but you got Freeman rushing in and Coleman too, and those guys, they're pretty big, and strong guys, so they could probably
Freeman
break that defense.
Freeman
Could
actually
just run all
averaged
over them.
he actually averaged 1,500 yards from scrimmage the last two seasons, which I thought was impressive.
Yeah, yeah,
If they cover up Julio Jones, they need to get Freeman the ball.
yeah. But I doubt they could even try to get Julio, cover Julio Jones to that extent. You know, he's a big guy. He's a tall guy. So even if he's catching the ball, he's still running all over those dudes.
Truck stick, you
You
said?
know.
all
Put the truck
right.
stick to him.
Yeah, right. Stiff arm and all that stuff. The dude's he's a monster right there too. And then they don't have the thing too about New England is that they don't have Gronkowski. So whatever everybody says they don't need Gronkowski, they do need Gronkowski because that was another big factor that they lost. So if Atlanta you do the man-to-man coverage, they could cover those dudes and they could stop those guys. So it's gonna
Although
be an interesting game. You
Martellus
know.
Bennett isn't chopped liver, I mean, this guy's proven to be a hell of a tight end for
I
New
like Bennett.
England
I like him.
or whatever. So the loss of Gronk, although everyone is kind of used to, seeing Gronkowski get his shine, I don't think that loss with Bennett it's been as drastic as people hope it would
Yeah, I
be.
thought it was gonna be big, but it hasn't proven a factor. But a lot of the teams that New England played too, they didn't have really good defense like that
Well,
too either, except for
well,
what Houston, and Houston did a good job too in the playoffs against New England, so it wasn't that bad at the game. They just
One
couldn't score.
one last
They just
player to
couldn't score.
watch. The
Edelman.
MVP from Buffalo, Hogan, killing him,
Chris Hogan.
killing him. Chris Hogan,
Because he killed
killing
the
him.
Steelers, right?
What do you have?
That
Three
game was
touchdowns.
horrible,
Chris.
though. I think that was bad coaching. Like they didn't call the right plays. They didn't do man-to-man coverage. The defense was all over the place. So, and they were not talking about like the old Steelers, because if it was the old Steelers, it'd be a different ball game. They could always score the ball, but their defense was just straight sloppy. It was really bad. And
Well,
then that's the defense coordinator and the defensive coach that they got to talk to about that. I doubt that Atlanta's gonna it's gonna happen the same way that the Steelers did, because that was just straight sloppy. I felt like they're in high school the way they were playing.
oh, all
They
right.
lost their fundamentals.
Let's take our final say about this and give us the key matchup for this game.
I'll take that. I'll take that.
All right.
As much as I want it to be Hogan, just because he played for the Bills last year, I'm gonna skip him, and I'm gonna say the combination of Freeman and Coleman. If they can get it done and keep Tom Terrific off the field, they'll win for sure.
Python.
I think Brady and Edelman, man, like those two, good duo. So stopping that guy is another factor too.
All
Uh,
right.
I don't.
And well, for mine, I'm gonna have to say Malcolm Butler versus Julio Jones.
Good matchup. Good matchup.
And
You think so?
Malcolm Butler
Uh,
became a hero out of nowhere with the interception in the end zone against
The
the Seattle
interception.
Oh,
Seahawks.
we gonna go there?
Although,
'Cause come on,
although
really.
Malcolm Butler, although Seattle doesn't have a Julio Jones on their team, so this will be a true test of his skill against an elite receiver in the NFL during the Super Bowl. Can he slow Julio Jones down and
I don't think he can.
force Matt Ryan to key in on his other receivers?
I
I
don't think
like
he
I
can
like
slow
that
him
matchup.
down.
I like
I
that.
don't think Butler can stand a chance against Julio. In my opinion, I think Julio's gonna do him too dirty, and they're gonna probably just move Julio too to left and the right sides. Switch up the positions to of the field. But the other
Well,
receivers too are good too. So Matt Ryan has a lot of got good offense. So it's gonna be an interesting game. It's just gonna come down to the defense once again.
because
Who's gonna hold out more?
This Sunday we'll find all this out. So I want to transition from one physical sport to another, and we're going to get into the Conor McGregor Floyd Mayweather boxing match.
Already laughter coming
Uh,
coming from the question.
let's lead off with our best combat sport analyst. We'll go with you, Tope.
I mean, you got the top, arguably the top boxer of all time. I won't say that, but a lot of people will argue that. I mean, if you like defensive fighting, he's your guy. That doesn't even make sense. It's like a contradiction, but we'll let it slide for now. And as it is right now, I will not say Conor McGregor is pound for pound number one in MMA, but he's just the most exciting. He's the biggest draw. The money's coming if he's fighting. So Mayweather's trying to cash in on this money. He knows he's going to whoop him out. But over the weekend, Conor McGregor, during an interview with Ariel Helwani over in England, announces that his next fight is going to be in a boxing ring. He makes it seem like it's 100% done. He says within the next year, it will happen. When it happens, he's probably going to take a L. Probably. Because Floyd's going to run away from him the entire time. But it's just enough of a sideshow that they can take my money now, take my $50, $60 right now for the pay-per-view, and
What, a
I'm
circus?
I'll
You
pay.
calling it a
I'll pay to see
circus?
the sideshow. I'll pay to see
Peanuts too? The peanuts
it.
too?
All that good
All
stuff.
right.
Give me the Cracker Jacks, the peanuts, all that.
Well, Python, go ahead. The
I,
floor is
I,
yours.
I just think it's a joke. An MMA fighter trying to fight, a boxer. It's a two types of things of entertainment. Like really, like I don't even think Conor McGregor even stand a chance with Floyd. Even if Floyd was the aggressor, which he never is, I think he always runs away. But like I think Conor McGregor, he seems to get tired a lot. I know MMA.
He
You
does
get
get tired quick.
5 minutes. He gets 5 minutes for each round. He gets tired by the second round. He's when
12,
he
12
blows
rounds
out.
might be a lot for him. You're right. You are right.
I don't think he's gonna make it to even six. I think maybe four, if that.
They are 3-minute rounds
Now,
instead of the 5, but still, there's
yeah,
12 of them.
but a lot of the time you gotta catch up to your opponent, and then that's something like stamina and like a lot of training becomes with saving up your energy. Cause Floyd's really good with that with the defense. I'm not a Floyd Mayweather fan. I don't like his fights. I feel like they're just training. I feel like they're just a training match instead of a boxing. It's not very entertaining. People could say he's the greatest. To me, he's not. You know, don't fight me, Floyd. You know what I'm saying? I'll lose too. I'm not a boxer. I'm just gonna talk the way I talk. I just don't find you entertaining at
What
all.
do
I
you?
like Conor McGregor, because he's entertaining. He backs it up. He could fight. If
Well,
they're gonna do a boxing fight, they gotta do an MMA fight too, to just show what's the difference.
After
And
Juice
I
weighs
think
in, actually, I want to come back, circle around, and see what you guys think. If it was an MMA bout, how would it go? But we'll let Juice weigh in first.
well, first of all, let me say that you don't have to like him. You can hate him. You don't have to love him. But any person within any sport getting to 49-0 has to be respected. I'm not the biggest Floyd Mayweather fan when it comes to his style of boxing. But like we said earlier about Bill Belichick, he gets
Mm-hmm.
results.
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
So you have to respect that about Floyd Mayweather. Um, it's kind of hard envisioning someone from another sport to come in and beat the champ when no one else that trained their lives in this sport was able
hey,
to do it.
it's like a CM Punk.
Um, you although Connor has shown some in the octagon, he's shown some skills in his stand up, but it's a totally different game in the boxing ring, just as it is if you was to reverse the roles.
Well, now that you bring it
Um,
back to there, if you do reverse
right,
the roles, I mean, Floyd doesn't stand a chance, right?
I
correct,
don't know. You run away,
correct.
you still getting body slammed. All right, the ref ain't helping you. Every time you
Well,
get grabbed, break every
one of the
time. Yeah,
one thing about Floyd's game, Floyd's never during his career, even in boxing, Floyd's not a knockout artist. Floyd's never been the strongest fighter in the ring. Now, Floyd has shown that he has a strong chin. He can take a punch, but he's never really shown that he's got that one punch to just, in the fight in the blink of an eye or whatever. It's more so I'm gonna wear you down. I'm gonna hit my marks. I'm gonna score points. I mean, it's your sort of equivalent, or not to this kid, but it's like in MMA, a wrestler not really going for ground and pound or doing any stand up. I'm just going to try and score points with takedowns
Yeah,
and
the
lay on
worst
top
style
of
in the
you.
world. Yeah.
It's not entertaining. It's not
But
entertaining. I
MMA
mean, this
don't be worrying about points. They worrying
We're
about whooping the other
we're
dude's
talking to
ass
you,
to win
Daniel
no,
that
no, no.
fight.
Cormier
It's
versus Anderson Silva.
yeah,
We're
yeah,
talking to
Daniel
you.
Cormier, yeah, in which that was an embarrassment to Cormier to almost losing to an like Anderson Silva 4 years ago would have beat Daniel Cormier in that fight. That was pathetic, and to watch that, I had better hopes for Cormier during that fight. which is
Speaking of
why
which, he has a fight coming
go
up
ahead.
in Buffalo that I'm trying to get to on April 8th. I'm trying to get tickets.
Oh,
If he's even going to show up because he pulls out all the time because he gets hurt every 2 months.
Ooh, sit. Sounds like he's scared.
but I have to say though that if this boxing match does come true, or if this we have another Pacquiao Mayweather situation where it's more talk than anything else, my money, if I had to bet, would go on Floyd winning, and I don't even think it would even be a knockout. I mean, I know you made a comment earlier about Mayweather running away. I mean, let's not forget Conor McGregor running during the Nate
Oh
Diaz
yeah, oh
fight in
yeah.
the
Trust me,
middle of the
I was
ring.
rooting for Nate as he
So
was
I mean,
pointing
that
at his
is
face.
Nate. We are talking about Nate
so
Diaz, though. You know what I'm saying?
it wasn't like he ain't never it wasn't like he never ran in a fight before himself.
Oh
But
yeah.
Uh,
I believe Smart Money says Floyd Mayweather wins the fight and it goes to the cards.
How about this then? How about
if
this? If Mayweather or excuse me, if McGregor can land some punches, if he can knock him out though. He does have knockout power, right?
True.
hmm yeah,
He has to
But
catch
Floyd has
him.
shown that he has a now of course he's older now, but Floyd has shown that he doesn't have a glass jaw. I mean, there's been some other boxers that's hit Floyd pretty flush and
What's
didn't
his name?
finish
Zab
him.
Judah?
I mean,
Like
there's some
Zab
guys
Judah
that
caught
hit him
him.
pretty good. I mean, Shane Mosley hit him
Shane
pretty
Yeah.
strong,
Mosley.
pretty hard,
Yeah,
and
Kodo.
he withstood the storm. So I does Mayweather. Um, I say this: McGregor winning this match. I'm gonna say Conor McGregor has about a 20% chance, and that may be
Yeah.
even too
I was
high
about to say that's actually
or
higher than I
whatever.
thought.
And that's probably even too high. But
But it can happen. But it
but
can
it
happen.
but yeah, there is a chance that he could maybe with his style maybe he catches him or whatever. But Mayweather's
I
just
mean,
such a defensive
he's a
tactician, man, that it's you just have to catch him slipping more so than he'll try and catch you slipping.
now for
So
boxing though, the points, right? Even if you're blocking, you still get points for even if you block the punch, right? From the other, if Floyd's just hitting him just in the glove, he still get points for that. That's how boxing is, right? They use that for points.
I think you have
I've
to
seen that
win.
a lot of the time. You know, I don't see everybody say Floyd always have like a higher percentage, but he doesn't throw a lot either.
But as to,
You
to
know,
wrap up this segment though, we're all in agreement. If the fight takes place in a boxing ring, the boxer's gonna win. If it takes place in a cage, the cage fighter's gonna win, right?
yeah,
Correct.
Okay.
yeah,
Correct.
But
All right. Well,
we're
since
interested in
we
seeing it.
not really.
I'll pay half of what
I
they
would,
asking.
Like
That's about
like I
my
wouldn't even
said,
pay.
interest level.
I wouldn't even pay. I'll be mad if somebody bought in my house.
like
Like,
I
you know what I'm
said,
saying?
take
Like,
my
you pay for
money
this?
earlier. I said take my money, but you know I'm streaming it on some illegal website.
Yeah, yeah. Like, come on, really? Like,
That's about as much of my interest in it.
you
But
know, if Floyd
okay,
really want
well
to fight somebody, he should fight that Triple G guy. You know, he's right
nah,
now. He's the most
I'll
dangerous threat
pay.
right now.
I'll pay to watch that fight.
Yep, I
But
paid for that fight too.
we're gonna flip over to our last subject of the day, and we're gonna talk about the state of the NBA. And by that we mean the way that the NBA is today versus the way that it was some years ago. And this time, let's lead off with Python.
What I think, I don't like the new NBA, in my opinion. I think it's just too many all stars in one team. You know, like the old NBA, it seemed like it was very balanced that any other team can make it to the championship. Nowadays, you're looking at the Cavs and Golden State and OKC. You know, and then what was it, Houston?
Okay,
I
see,
guess. You know, cause Westbrook. You know, I think
but
they got.
But really,
okay,
that's
That's
go
just like an
ahead.
interesting storyline. Really, they probably really got no
Okay,
chance, right? I mean,
They ain't got no chance against Golden State because it's not even fair anymore. Like back in the days, yeah, Jordan, he had Pippen, it was a decent squad, but you had Jordan, and right now it just don't seem fair. You got too many superstars in one team. I feel like it's like it all started when LeBron went to Miami, and they had all the superstars right there in one team, and of course they were winning. And when they lost, it's just like, how the hell did you lose? You just got outplayed. Sometimes it is just teamwork, but I just think it's just too many superstars in one team. I don't like it. Uh, I don't feel like they don't dunk enough like they used to. I think they they play kind of like sissy, man. Like they count on the fouls. They want to get fouls so they could just shoot the foul line too
all
much.
that
Too many
flopping and
flops.
stuff. Yeah, all
That
that flopping.
flopping, man. Like LeBron. Yeah, you're the king, man, but you doing a lot of flops too, man. You're supposed to be the king. You're supposed to be on Jordan's level. I don't even think you're in Jordan's level when you get there, or Kobe's. Back in those days. I think it's just I don't like the NBA. I haven't been watching the NBA for years because I just think it's unfair. Like I already know who's gonna be there at the end. Right off the bat. That's my
All,
opinion.
all right. Well, Tope, go ahead.
I mean, I feel like back in the day, early '90s, I feel like you knew who was going to be in the finals too. Jordan versus whoever, and then Jordan's going to win. I mean, to me personally, I prefer this style of basketball, more spread out, that European vibe, where everybody can actually shoot and actually play basketball, actually have dribble skills and such, not just like some Antonio Davis out there roughing people up. Um, and surprising to me when we were looking up the stats for this show today, 1990 they were actually averaging more points per game than they are today. That was stunning to me. I was in disbelief. But the three pointers, they're getting a little out of control. I mean, a little out of control. Unless you're Steph Curry and you want to shoot from half court, I'll watch that all day. But I don't want to see Dion Waiters pulling up from wherever talking about they gave me my shot. What are you talking about? What shot are you talking about?
you know. And
But
Jordan say, in that time in the '90s, Jordan was making those shots in front of, with defense. These guys ain't really doing good defense though nowadays. I feel like they just let them do what they want to do. You know.
Or,
yeah,
uh,
yeah.
let,
I guess. I feel like it's just the fact that it's a little less physical than it used to be. You can't hand check anymore like you could. You can now play zone and you couldn't before. They call a lot more ticky tack fouls nowadays than they used to. With all this flopping going on, you don't even got to get hit and they call foul just because the guy threw his leg up like Draymond be doing. I mean,
Derek Fisher
all
used to do the
right.
same shit in the Lakers. He was a big flop too.
Well,
But
I'm gonna say about for me and the current state of the NBA. I'm not. I mean, there's some good things about it, but I'm not ultimately feeling it. I mean, today's NBA reminds me of when me and my boys growing up, we would go to the park and run pickup games, and it would be you would have you would have some brothers out there, some athletic brothers or whatever, but for the most part, eventually the game just turned into a 3-point shootout, and
sounds like
that's
fun to me.
all I'm seeing. That's all I'm seeing in today's NBA. I mean, if that's what's fun, then hell, I mean, we should be playing in the NBA. If you don't have to play defense like they do now,
right, you
someone
could just
suit me
shoot.
up right now. I can stand
You
at the
could
three
just
point
shoot.
line and shoot all day, and
You know.
roam. Just play passing lanes like Steph Curry or something like that, or give me a team where
You
you
know.
can hide
Where's
me.
the dunking? Where's the
I
crazy
mean,
dunks that they used to have? Where's the crazy layups? Back
it's
in the
not
days
even it's not even
with
just
Dave Robinson
even the
just doing
dunks.
free the layup from the free throw under his leg, or
That's
or
a
from
good point.
five
That's a good
dudes.
point right there.
Where
Actually,
is that?
I'm gonna throw that to Juice. He
It,
Python brings up David Robinson, and that reminds me of how few true big men we actually have in the NBA today. I feel like that's part of the issue. They're
okay.
trying to transition away from that to spread the floor. What are you thinking about that?
I miss the game of the big man. I miss your Hakeem Olajuwons. I miss the Patrick Ewings. I miss the Shaquille O'Neals. I
Shaq,
miss
you know.
the David Robinsons, your Tim Duncans. I miss the game of the big man. Today's big man, you required to do two things. You either gonna be a rim protector slash rebounder, or you gonna shoot 3 pointers.
And spread
But
the floor, yeah.
you
Spread the
don't
floor.
you don't have a guy that you can throw the ball to outside of maybe like your Mark Gasols or just say DeMarcus Cousins or something like that. But you really don't have no one that you can throw
Even
on the block.
Cousins, you'll
It's
see shoot
crunch
pull up for
time.
threes though
Yeah,
nowadays.
you'll see him shooting threes and things.
Like
But
Dwight Howard should be dunking on these fools like all day. LeBron too. I feel like he don't be dunking the shit out of these dudes
you
like
you don't you
he
don't see
should
the
be.
guys like throwing the ball in the clutch on the block and drawing the double team and freeing up guys for an open three. I'm not against 3 pointers because watching Steph sometimes when he gets hot, man. I mean it really is a show on the court or whatever, watching him shoot the ball. But you miss seeing some of the guys that like when you watch Shaq play, although he was kind of one of a kind, we don't have you don't really have a guy that came around like Shaq, or if someone says a Jordan. I mean, you had Kobe who sort of tried to mirror his game after Jordan, but Jordan was one of a kind in his thing also. But
Yeah,
Yeah.
Magic Johnson too. Don't forget about
you
Magic
yeah,
Johnson too. You know,
but you
he
just
pulled
don't
out
have
some
them
crazy
guys
plays.
like that. Now, although the league today has created more stars than there's been in the past, I mean, I believe that if you watch just about any team, you can probably watch an NBA game just because of they have a star on it, unlike
Right.
say
Milwaukee, like
the
Milwaukee
NFL.
has
Yeah,
the Greek freak. At
Giannis.
least you can at least
Yeah,
be entertained by the game, even though they probably ain't gonna beat the best teams.
yeah, yeah. So I mean, you can still watch them, but I still think that there's a place for the big man, the old school big man or whatever in the league. I still think you can win with that kind of player because I mean I know a lot of the arguments is they
Yeah, well,
have
because
to
what if
come
the
on the
three
other
points?
side and cover their like if you play in say
Their stretch
Golden
four or
State and you
whatever.
have you have to go out and guard a Draymond Green at the three, but
But he's got to
You
come down and
know,
guard
like
him in the paint.
I highly doubt
you know,
Draymond is gonna guard a Shaq.
that's
Originally,
that that like
Because
originally,
that.
or even Elijah one for that matter, because he was skilled as a big man. You don't have skilled
Yeah,
big men today. Like most guys, only thing they know how to do is press their back to you, and then when they run out of give, they either pull in left or pull in right.
yeah, they don't have any post moves. Originally, when this whole
It-
fad began with the whole stretch four, spread the floor, no big man, I thought that that was just a certain team's way of getting around the fact that they didn't have a true big man. They're like, well, since we don't and we can't be competitive, we'll just go this route. And now it seems to have just
mhm.
transitioned to the entire league, which I'm not a huge fan of. Just it kind of reminds me of how these NFL teams don't want to run the ball anymore, which I still feel
Mhm.
if you have a solid run game and defense, you're going to win, but everybody wants to throw the ball 50 times a game. It's kind of just like the three-point shots. You see them all jacking them up, kind of just like the passes
yeah,
in the
but
NFL. That's how it
that's
reminds
like
me anyway.
if then when they're off, then you won't have like nobody going up to the key. So then what do you? I mean, in the paint, what do you do? I mean, you. That's the same thing that happened with the Golden State when they were about to win the championship and they ended up losing because all of a sudden they put more defense on them. They couldn't get the three shot. That's why Golden State got KD to do that. You know, I like
And
KD
also
by the way. He's a
another
really
thing,
good
a
player.
product of these playing from the outside in is that you have more guards getting rebounds, it seemed like, than they ever used to
Yeah,
get
Westbrook.
because
Yeah.
everyone's so spread out and when you're shooting threes, you tend to have long rebounds. And that's opening it up. Not to say, not to take nothing away from Russell Westbrook or
Right, right.
whatever,
He's working
because he's
hard.
probably at his position, probably the most athletic player at that position to ever play the game.
No
Yeah,
doubt.
yeah,
But
he's
you
good
do
too.
see a
I
lot of
like him
rebounds
too.
going to the guards lately. You do see that.
Yeah.
I can tell you for sure
So
because I'm addicted to fantasy sports and they take all my money.
so
I just
it's
said they.
it's it's not to just be completely down on today's NBA. I just think that it's it's not great basketball or whatever in the sense like it's like they trying to take a lot like how they ruin football, at times they like you took out the big hit. And I get the concussion issues and shit, but you took out the big hits. You took out a lot of things that the defensive players could use and not,
To deter
be
you from going
penalized
across
for
the
to deter
middle.
you from doing, yeah, to now if there's a big hit, even if there is no helmet to helmet content, a ref is already reaching for his flag without even
Right,
Yeah.
just because it's a big
analyzing what,
hit.
what just happened because it was a big hit. He's reaching for his flag, and
I feel like
that's
these guys are getting too soft. They get paid millions of dollars. Talking about, oh, what about them? What do you mean, what about them? They getting paid millions. Name of the game.
but
You know
I
what I'm
wouldn't
saying?
go. I wouldn't go that far or whatever. But
I mean, it
I
depends to a
understand the
certain extent.
sentiment.
Like if he
Yeah,
got really hurt, then it'd be like, oh shit, maybe he's hurt. But if you're getting paid millions, man. You gotta. That's entertainment. People like those big hits, like it or not. You know.
yeah. Is just defense has been taken away. Everyone, it seemed like the more sports have grown here in the U.S., that more casual fans have come to it, and there's always trying to be rule changes to have more
To
offense,
promote
more points
scoring.
scored for
Yeah.
for everything. I mean, even people complain about a baseball game taking too long or whatever. Like I've been to some baseball games. I actually don't mind the time that it took during the watching a baseball game. I'm
I
not
think you're the only
against
person in the world
the
that's agreeing with
No, I like baseball too. When you go there, I think
that.
going there and watch it at home is a
Yeah.
definitely different
It's different.
experience. So like,
Baseball's one of the few sports I think that I actually think besides
they don't
probably
have
having
crazy
like home
rules. None of the
having like front
the
row seats at a basketball game, like being having floor seats or whatever. Watching a baseball game, I think is more entertaining than going to the game is more entertaining than watching a football game. But
well since
you've pulled away from the field. I mean,
right.
it's a bunch of loud, obnoxious people around, and you can still have that at home. But at home, you got control. I can tell someone, hey, get your and go or whatnot. You know what I'm saying?
Well, since we
But
brought up other
I,
sports back into the
uh-huh.
conversation with the rule changes to promote scoring, I find it very odd, but I pretty much universally hate all the changes that have been made to the NFL. I hate
Oh
the
yeah,
kickoff, the touchback, the
the
extra point.
kickoff.
But when it comes to
Yeah.
the NBA, I'm all about it. Give me more threes. Shoot it.
You,
Shoot it some more. Spread the
Oh
floor.
man,
no,
Get
don't
these
listen
big
to this
slow
guy.
dudes out of here.
Where's the dunks at? Where's the dunks at?
it's
I miss when the little dude was trying to stop the big man, and then the guy would dunk and have his balls in the dude's face for trying. I used to call that
there's
shit blast service. Like that's what you get. You know.
There's no reason that there should be this much scoring though that's going on in the NBA with all these
What
threes.
was the team
I'm
that
just saying
scored
Yeah.
someone
140 the
played
other day,
just
Juice? What was the
yeah. I
team?
mean
A lot of the time they don't
with the
even get
LeBron
blocked because they're
James
not even getting stopped. Like nobody's even like putting defense. Like where's the hand
with
up?
LeBron's
Where's the hand in the
Cavaliers,
face?
they lost to the New Orleans Pelicans without Anthony Davis and
And
gave up
how many points?
140 something
Whew,
points
whew, yes. Give me
to a
150.
Pelican-less Anthony Davis. I mean, you
I mean,
can't. There's
LeBron's getting
no
old. That's what it is. You can't say you need a playmaker because you were the playmaker, man.
Thanks for bringing that
You
up,
can't
Python.
whine.
Thanks for bringing that up, because I think that's where we
You
want
know,
to take this segment, matter of fact, is to the whining that Charles Barkley claims LeBron James is bringing about himself. The whining for the playmaker. Now LeBron James has retaliated, saying Charles Barkley spit in some kid's face when he was growing, when he was coming up. He didn't show up for All-Star games because he was drunk. What have you seen this stuff, Juice? Have you heard it?
I, I've heard the things that Barkley or that LeBron said about Barkley and Barkley said about LeBron. I think although I think LeBron might have went a little too much considering the comments was only that he was whining
Like he really thought
about
about
not
his
not
comments. He really thought about his
yeah like
retaliation.
but at
yeah.
the same time I mean, Barkley has been pretty critical of LeBron, you know,
for a few
pretty
years
much
now.
since day one or whatever.
Because if Barkley was there in his prime, I don't think LeBron would be doing half the he's doing.
LeBron a dunk on him
but
too.
yeah, no,
I'm
LeBron's a
not a Charles
LeBron's a
Barkley
better
fan either, though.
player of
Yeah,
Barkley or whatever. He's a much better player than Barkley was.
but
But
the whining though has
uh,
got to stop, and the flopping. I think everybody's just tired of that bullshit, man. Like,
that's
come on,
just, but you know what? That's just a pro. But that's all part of this whole
It
new
is.
NBA or whatever. It's not just
don't say
LeBron
you're the
that's
king.
flopping.
Don't say you're the
No,
king and then bitch and whine about it. If you're the king,
it
stand up.
but
That's all I'm
he
saying.
has been the
Don't put
king
that on a
in the NBA.
pedestal,
No,
and he
there
get like a
hasn't
little
been
hand slap, and he cries about it. Come on.
nobody has been better at the game of basketball than
Everybody
LeBron
does the
has
crying though.
since recently or whatever. Yeah, I
I
mean, if
mean,
you go back and watch old Bulls tapes, you will see Jordan's face tore up when he didn't get a call or something like that, which
Kobe,
would equate to some
Shaq,
people today saying he's whining, he's crying, or anything like that.
even the NFL
I mean,
quarterbacks these days, if they take a hit, it doesn't even have to be late. They get up looking for the flag.
they get
I
up,
see
look, yeah,
Aaron Rodgers get
exactly.
up looking at the ref all the time. So I mean, we
They
gotta
they
take.
looking for a flag because they got
They're
touched or whatever,
quarterbacks,
and
man.
that's
They're
At the end of the
they're the
day, they're
sissiest
just
ones at a
looking to
time.
get their team the ball or to keep the ball for their team. The same thing with the NBA. I mean, they flopping. I don't like it. It looks bad, real bad sometimes. But they are just trying to get to the foul line or get the
I
possession
mean,
for their team.
I seen one dude
right.
flop from like 10 feet away, bro. Like,
I know, I know. It's
But
out of
why
hand.
not?
come
Why
on,
not
did anybody see that
just
one?
go to the hole and do what you do or whatever? So I mean, not saying that he even because you everyone knows Harden flops, but
Oh yeah,
Harden just goes to the hole or whatever and do what he do and
Yeah, he
try and
goes in
get
the
to the
hole a
foul
lot.
line. The year that Dwayne Wade won MVP, I mean, the man shot a free throw. He was shooting free throws even when the game wasn't going on or whatever. He was fouled so much going there, you know. Like just go to the hole, force the ref to make the calls or whatever.
Get that
I mean,
and
eventually
ones.
you can build a
Yeah.
bad reputation. Like if the game of the day with DeMarcus Cousins and the phantom foul that caused him to foul out of the game or whatever. But I think you
that was
tend to
pretty
build up a
suspect.
reputation. Yeah, you build up a reputation and you start getting calls and things not going your way. So I mean, there's a fine line you have to walk sometimes when it comes to being so demonstrative on on your face all the time when something ain't going your way.
Definitely,
But
definitely.
what's suspect too is these referees though. Like in a lot of the sports, I feel like there's a lot of favoritism too. Like in the NFL, especially in the NFL and the NBA, a lot of the
Well,
time with the home court, the home court advantage.
You know what
You
though?
know,
To
well,
bring it
let
back into focus, the whining that
hmm
Barkley was kind of talking about though was the actual whining of him needing a player because he only has
a
so
player,
many years left.
I
Like
mean,
needed a new playmaker.
he's supposed to be the king though. He's the
which,
playmaker. He's the
but
playmaker. You know.
I
But do you
mean, look,
think
basketball, you're not gonna win a championship solo. That's just not you do need a team. And Golden State went from having the two best shooters on the planet on one team to adding the top
and they
three
took it
best
to
shooters.
game 7 without Durant and then they add Durant. So LeBron's looking at that. He sees that. And I feel
Correct.
that's what he's talking about when he says he needs somebody. Because the Golden State Warriors got better and they stayed the same. Not saying that they can't beat them currently constructed. But like he said, he only got a few years left. If you're trying to really win
hmm
championships every year and you have the ability, I think he's really talking about Melo. Because there was reports that Melo was offered for Kevin Love and they turned it down. And then a couple days later, LeBron comes out with those comments about him needing a playmaker. I'm just assuming they're talking about
Uh,
Melo. Maybe not. Maybe I'm
Although
wrong.
to throw that off to the side though, now it's as much, I've defended LeBron lately or whatever because I thought some people was on him unharshly or whatever. I wasn't too big on the guy when he came out, but watching him now, you just have to respect the man's game or whatever. I mean, hell, I wasn't a Kobe fan, but I respected the man's game. You
You ain't
just you
like
just gotta
Kobe? Come
respect.
on.
No,
I
I
didn't
wasn't a
like him
Kobe
either.
fan.
I didn't like him either.
You ain't like
I'm not
I
a
was
Kobe?
like,
Kobe
this
fan, but
man's
I
trying to be
respect the
just
hell out
like
of him.
Jordan. He got his tongue out just like him,
That's
shooting
that's the
fadeaways
Black
just like
Mamba
him.
though.
I'm like, This dude.
there's some players you have to respect. You just have to respect what they do, man. And I'm one that can put aside my dislike of someone, but still respect what they do or whatnot. Um, but yeah, defending LeBron or whatever. He's the one that did go and call for Cleveland to make that trade to send Andrew Wiggins and all them
Definitely did.
players to get Kevin Love in Cleveland.
But now he's
But
saying get rid of
then,
Kevin Love so we
but
can win
now
another
Nah,
he's
he
one.
like
wants to get
get
rid
rid
of
of
him.
Kevin.
Why? He wants to get
So
rid of
like
him.
I mean,
It
you
might
kind
be
of
the
made
right
your bed
move.
with that one.
It might be the
Bron.
right
Like,
move though. He might have
Or
told
it
him
just
the right
sounds like
move
he's just
originally.
it sounds like he's just mad because he fucked up, and then let me just put the blame on another dude that's not putting,
I don't
he's
know.
doing a certain amount of weight.
You know how I
I
take
mean,
that
he
as?
made.
You know what I hear when I hear that? I hear that
Hmm.
you just told me that LeBron told them to trade Wiggins so they could win a title. They did. They
Hmm.
won the title. Now he's telling them trade Kevin Love so he can win a title. He's
so he
probably
can
right.
win another
He's
title.
probably
Like
right.
he wants another, like he wants another All Star. Like, come on,
I
bro.
mean,
How
I just
about you
But
fucking go to practice and
is
make your team an
Carmelo
All Star?
Anthony,
I don't know if
is
yeah.
Carmelo, LeBron, and Kyrie the answer
I
to
don't even think that's
beating
fair.
a Steph, Clay, Draymond, Durant team?
Maybe though. Maybe if Melo is
Yeah,
playing
I,
off
I,
minutes
I,
of LeBron, maybe if he comes in a little later, off the bench. I think
I think, yeah,
because what
I
LeBron's
think
issue
he'd be good.
is that when he's off the court, because even Kyrie's not really a playmaker for others. He's really a playmaker for himself. I mean, so when LeBron's out, it's just like a bunch of guys. That's all it is, just a bunch of guys out there.
Mm.
Kevin Love, he gets benched during the finals. He doesn't even start. You might want to trade
You
him.
know,
I don't know.
But what I mean,
Because
well, I guess it depends on which version of Carmelo Anthony you get coming in
you need
yeah,
because
that
too. Because
freshness
sometimes
from
he be,
Syracuse.
yeah.
you
All
know,
right.
So
We've covered
I
all topics today. We have a final take.
yeah,
seems like it.
yeah,
You know,
yeah. I mean, if you want to lead with the final take of anything that we didn't cover or
I
look
feel
forward to
Bron,
I
talking
feel
about,
like we covered everything, but I feel a reoccurring theme throughout the show was a lot of people that we feel are great or championship material. We may not like them or respect them, i.e., Belichick, Mayweather, LeBron, Kobe, but you gotta respect their
hmm
game because they get results at the end of the
yeah,
day.
this is the golden stream.
Well, yeah, as you just heard the man, y'all can go check us out at our YouTube channel at Golden X Stream. We put out gaming content and just whatever we in the mood for, so things like that. So go out, comment. We have a Twitter page, Golden Extreme. Hit us up, let us know, contact us, anything that y'all would like to see from us, and we appreciate y'all watching.
Peace.